Let's just do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the R&D podcast. We're live from Puerto Rico. We're here with some fine people. My name is Randy. I'm your host. I'm here with my guy, John. I'm here with Jonathan Gonzalez. We'll call him Gonzalez. Well, I'm here with Cosé.
What it do?
I'm here with Esteban.
How you doing?
And we're all here for our good friend John's 30th birthday, which is tomorrow. We're recording this on April 18th, 2021. So we're trying to capture this moment in time, and hopefully it'll serve as a. That's what pictures and videos are. They're time capsules.
Right.
So this is really good of capturing this moment together because this is not a common thing.
I agree.
And
It's this is like the new, like this system here is like the new photo album.
the new photo album.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like the modern day for like I don't really.
Wow.
I don't think a lot of. I think, like you know how like our parents had these massive binders of just thick, just moments.
Yeah.
You know, and now everything is just digital. So.
Everything is digital, yeah. But it's cool because you know how in Harry Potter, like the pictures move?
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing. We're living that now. So like we're living that, and then you can capture this beautiful. Look at this beautiful scenery. You know the energy of the place.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that I wanted to talk about, and I'm glad we can, because everybody that I talk to that comes to Puerto Rico, first time, 20th time, there's always the talk of the energy of the place.
Right.
There's a certain energy here. It's a very, Esteban said it earlier, it's very vibrant. Like the colors, the ambiance, the music, the food, the people. It's very colorful. Everything is colorful. It has so much energy. So it's very fitting that we're here to celebrate your 30th. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Especially, like, I don't know. What do you think?
I think going into my 30s, it's definitely the start that I want to have. I mean, shit, yeah, just kick things off on the right foot, you know. And it's definitely like it just motivates me. It's like, or it shares this is like what I want, you know. I want more of this.
Want more of this? Wow. What do you guys think?
I love the fact that we did it for his 30th because I feel like 30 has such a stigma to it. It's like, oh shit, 30. Like, real life, no more kid, play, no more you. Like, you have to, at this point, build your foundation for what you're going to retire on. There's so much pressure to 30. Everybody tells you how your body starts shutting down, how your knees start to hurt, your back starts to go. And subconsciously, you kind of make that stuff come true because now it's in your head. It's like, well, everybody's saying this, and now I'm 29. I'm about to hit 30. Shit. Oh, you know what? I start to feel my back. Oh, it must be true. You confirm it.
Right.
This, for him specifically, watching his whole life journey that I was fortunate enough to see, like I couldn't think of a better way for you to go into the next chapter of your life.
Right.
Yeah, you always talk about Puerto Rico all the time, anyways.
Yeah.
And this is my first time here, and then the first day here, I was like, I don't know. This is like, cause like I don't know, I'm not used to like Hispanic neighborhoods and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm sheltered, but and then I like by the second day, I was like, all right, yeah, this is pretty lit. This is not bad. And now you're 30. You're looking younger, looking better. Got your own apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy what happens in a year,
In a month.
where you can achieve the difference. I grew this in a year. It's great.
I got a beard now.
Turning 30, I still can't fuck it.
It's coming, man. It's
coming,
coming.
I
I'll
hear
deal with the goatee then.
30s.
We'll come back 10 years later, and then we're like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
There's progress.
I'll be having like 6 new hairs on my fucking shit. That's it.
Nah, but I think shout out to PR right now because we're all from New York, so we're used to not really interacting with a lot of people there. Like sometimes, like I'll say hi to a lot of people, but my reactions that I get are very all across the board. Here, people say hi first, say good morning. I think that's awesome. I think everyone that I've met here has been super beautiful, light soul.
And they mean to be too. It's
Yeah,
not
it's just
like
genuine. You
forced.
feel-
It's not like
no.
okay, I see the
It's not
person, I
fun.
have to say good morning, good morning.
Yeah,
No, it's like
everywhere.
hey, good fucking morning to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people on the
The beach?
excursion yesterday,
Oh.
they were fire. The people that were
Yeah.
helping us, the bartender, or whatever. We went to Culebra yesterday, and that was lit. We took the boat.
It's beautiful.
People were mad
Really?
nice, but I think that yeah, just going back to my original point, I think that right now we're doing the opposite, where a lot of people are more separated, more not friendly to each other. You know, and I think it's refilling.
Yeah.
It's like an energy. It's like an energy boost. Like, okay, not the whole world is like how it is, where we experience it all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's compounded by the fact that you're in that environment with people that you are, you know, you're with your family. You're with people that you feel at home with. You know, we were talking about it last night. It's like, or even the day before. We're very fortunate to have a center. Like, we're very fortunate to kind of have like our own little community where it's like, okay, we know who we are. We've known who we've been for a while. I asked you the other day, it's like, how old were you in 5th grade? When you were in 5th grade, I was in 4th grade
Yeah.
when I met you. So you were on 10. You're 30 now. So we've
That's
known each other
yeah,
for
that's-
20 years.
Wow, that's crazy.
2 decades. So I say it all the time. I'm aware that not everybody is fortunate enough to have it. So I'm not going to talk as if like just everybody should have it or has it. Like, no, I understand that this is
Like you're missing out if you don't have it. Like,
yeah. Listen, man, like a lot of things, it's like, I'm blessed, man. You don't think we're blessed to just be here doing what we're doing
Yeah.
Of course.
when we're doing it with who we're doing it with, you know, like with everything going on right now in the world, it's really dope to kind of know that you're still blessed by whatever, you know? And it is fitting that we're here because you've always been a person that's been, I feel like people that don't know you may see you as maybe even as quiet or like reserved or anything, but like you're full of energy, and we've always been fans of music too. And we've been talking about it a lot, like Puerto Rico, man, like you're here for a little bit and you feel why so much art comes out of here.
comes out of Puerto Rico. Yeah, man.
Like from reggaeton to salsa to whatever. It's like, oh my god, you know, what do you think? Because you've always been a fan of music.
Yeah.
The art.
I don't even know, man. It's,
You know what I mean?
there's always been, I think even since I was a kid, there's always been something of Puerto Rico that like just always caught my attention, especially through salsa. And then obviously listening to salsa at home and then meeting people that, or even my sister at the time, she put me onto like a bunch of reggaeton and stuff, you know? And then to find out that it's like at that moment, everything that I listen to the most or everything that I really like comes from this small island, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, damn. And what's funny is that when they migrate into the Bronx, it's like, well, now look at like that's the birth of rap.
Wow. Oh wow. Yeah.
Which is fucking nuts. First, what was it? I don't know what it. He got something, but Big Pun, first Latino and like
I was just listening to him the other
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
first Latino to. I think, what did he get for his album?
Capital Punishment.
Capital Punishment, yeah. But like he's like the first Latin rapper in the rap game to do that. And where's he from? Puerto Rico. It's
Yeah.
like, it's crazy. It's nuts the amount of talent that this island breeds. Hector Lavoe, Willie Colon, like
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
But the thing is, like, you see the
Big.
spectrum, and then I've talked about growing up and really enjoying John Leguizamo's work. John Leguizamo's half Colombian, half Puerto Rican, but he's from New York.
Yeah.
So that's like, oh wow, it kind of it ties in full circle. I remember we were watching Freak in your, I think it was like in your room, like after getting home from school.
Yeah.
You know, so it's interesting. Like we really are influenced by our environment.
Yeah.
That's what beautiful scenery does. It impacts you in a way that allows you to create, and like you can just kind of like, it helps you flow better. It helps you kind of just create better. And then, if you're really feeling it, if you're really in tune with your environment and you're aware, you're present, then you can allow all of that to flow through whatever medium that you're creating. You know what I mean? I feel. What do you guys think about that? Somebody jump in. Somebody say something.
I think that for me, why are they so happy here? why do they like why do they come from that place where they can do all this stuff and just be happy and like
La Isla del Encanto. It's like, I think now we know why they name it, like, you know, like La Isla del Encanto.
Yesterday when we went to go buy that Alcapuria, and that old Spanish lady was there, I was like, wow, this brings me joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
think I
she's like,
told I
making
told you, I was
cake.
like, I want a picture of her face. Like because it was so intriguing, so beautiful, so Puerto Rico. I was like,
Genuine.
wow, this is like, if you think the heart of Puerto Rico, this is what you picture. And I was like, I don't know how to do it and like not be fucking weird, but I really, really, really wanted a picture of her face. And I would have enjoyed to have that.
A portrait at the crib.
on your wall.
Yeah, 100. Yo, I would have blew that shit up.
Somebody comes in and they're like, "Is that your grandma on the wall?" You're
Nope.
like, "No, that's Puerto Rico."
So a woman I met in Puerto Rico when I was having a lovely time there. This is our first ad, by the way. This is an ad for Puerto Rico. This is government sponsored. This whole episode.
No, it's awesome. I think that after being here for a couple of days, it's like I can see myself coming back and
Yeah.
really meeting more people, having friends out here, like fucking with the vibes. Like when we went out the other night at the lounge, like everyone, I don't know if it was because of touristy spot or whatnot, but a lot of the people that were there looked like they were people that lived here. Local, I mean, yeah. So everyone was dancing from all types of colors, of whatever. Like everyone was dancing, singing.
Really?
Yeah, and like when I go out to the lounge and stuff at other places, people are very
Back at home.
yeah. Nobody really dances and stuff. Here, everyone was dancing.
That's popping. That's awesome.
Like a little
Yeah, it was-
stuck, like a little stuck up, like a little maybe like reserved.
I'm
Not stuck up.
sure.
maybe
just
afraid.
fearful of
I
just
just-
being
That's
what I thought it
judged
was.
or something. Yeah, it was a good energy. It felt light in there. It's something like again just refreshing, just because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, there are a lot of great people in this world, and there's a lot of world in this world. So, shout out to Puerto Rico.
Shout out to Puerto Rico. Yeah, man.
Jesus.
What was?
You know,
Yeah.
you know what moment I was like, wow.
That's what I was gonna ask actually.
This
Like,
is
what was your
worth it.
favorite moment thus far?
Well,
of, like,
we swam to that beach, and
Oh.
I floated in that damn water for like a good like
Oh, I saw
half
that.
hour.
Yo, it's
Oh
that-
my god.
You were in it.
I was there and I opened my eyes. I was like, I fucking love this island.
I really like that we had to swim and leave all of our shit on the boat though.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally.
No phone, no nothing. Just go.
Yeah, no phone, and then it's just you.
Yep.
It's just you, but in this beautiful, clear blue water. Unbelievable water. It's like really the picture that you have in your head of going on a Caribbean adventure, going on a tropical island, and then just fucking zenning out,
Yeah.
just being in the zone. It's that, and we experienced that. Culebra was beautiful,
Jesus.
Yeah, it was really nice. There.
unbelievable.
That sand was nice.
The
too.
sand was so soft, like so smooth.
And that's usually not a feature of a beach that I'd care about that much.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the water was like salty, so the floating was like effortless. So
Yeah.
you were able to just kind of like let everything go.
Not
And not only just like, all right, float, just let everything go. Like I meditated in the water, and you know when you're floating, you have like that tension in your neck and your head. You like keep your face above the water, and then once like you get to that realization of you don't need to try, and then you just like let that tension go, bro. That was a deeper level of calmness and tranquility that I've experienced before?
Our driver said that he's lived here for a long time, but he's actually Dominican, and he lived in New York too. He has family out in New York, and he was telling me that he's like, I live out here because I love it here. It's like I love everything that's here.
Yeah.
So is it like, do we not, like me personally, like if I'm not really 100% happy in New York, I don't know if that. What if New York is just maybe not something that's so appreciated by the person who lives there that it's the difference between like if you like it or not. Like being here where you appreciate literally the weather,
The palm trees,
scenery,
yeah.
everything
The
that
food.
we're given, you know, and that just that sense of just gratitude and appreciation is why everyone here is so like happy
Yeah.
and grateful, you know.
I think setting has a lot of, influence on that.
And I think we see that too a lot of times in New York where we go to like the beaches because living there is, I mean, there are a lot of people in America that don't have access to like
To a
beaches.
beach.
Yeah.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
The vast majority.
Yeah,
actually,
Long
yeah.
Island is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but I think at the same time,
It's harder to find what's so accessible here that you have to put an effort to get to a point of Long Island to be effortless.
and then
It's not just there. It's not just accessible. Where here, everybody's on that calm, mellow kind of.
Yeah, you're
we're
right.
not in that rat race. We're not stuck in the cycle. So here, it's so easy to disconnect. Where over there, you have to block everything out to get to disconnection.
you're right.
I think that's what it is about here.
And it's funny because if somebody who lived in Puerto Rico was listening to this right now, then they could either say, well, I mean,
That's just vacation.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah,
below the
it's
surface, it
tourists,
might
that's
be the
right,
same way where everybody's in the rat race trying
Yeah.
to one up the next person. Or maybe what if they went to New York and they said, nah, this is where it's at, like, and it's
Yeah.
different. What if it's just a change of what is always the same?
Right.
Yeah.
Is that what we like?
Yeah, it's not the place, it's the feeling.
Freedom.
And that's why I hate routine.
That's fair. I think
'Cause I think we would have gone anywhere and still had this moment.
Yeah.
Granted, we might not have had this weather, this beach,
this
this
is beautiful.
scenery.
Yeah, the setting is
But-
lovely.
Yeah.
I think this is accessible worldwide.
Well, this type of weather year round, because it is year round here. That's not worldwide.
Well,
but-
that's the thing. I'm not talking weather-wise. I'm not talking
Okay.
external. I'm talking like this
Moment.
feeling of serenity
sure. Yeah.
is not caused by this scene. The feeling of serenity is you being allowed to be part of whatever scene you're around and connecting to whatever it is that gives you that freedom.
Yeah, I agree that it feels like when you're here, it maybe is easier to access, but again, we're visitors here, and then to go to what Cosé was saying, like a visitor in New York would probably feel the way we feel. That's how they would feel over there, right? So it really does depend on what lens you're applying on there, like what your perspective is and what your experiences have been. But what I do find interesting, because we kind of been hinting at it a little bit, is I think to find the serenity, you still have to do like a little bit of work. And a good example of that is we're talking about visiting Culebra and how beautiful it was and floating and being just at peace. But you had to swim to the island.
Swim to it.
You had to swim against the current. You had to really, if you had to take a break, take a break. But you have to focus on your breathing. You had to keep going because there was always moments in there you're like, fuck, I don't think I can. Maybe I should just turn back. Maybe I should just stop. I don't think I can just.
Fuck it. I'm dying here.
Yeah. But if you
This is
just,
a nice island.
yeah. You get to the point where it's like, no, I have to go to the shore. Like I can't, like you kind
That's a good way to-
of, like those things just kind of like leave your mind. Cause like, well, no, I have to be. I see it. Like the thing is, that you
Yeah.
can see it. Like when you see the prize ahead, it's easy, right? But you have to know, like you have to keep swimming. You have to fight. You have to do that work, and then you can get to that serenity. I think the same applies to any situation, whoever you're from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But fuck, man. It's
You know what's good about that?
yeah.
Even during certain points of swimming, you feel like you're getting nowhere. And that goes both ways with deeper meaning and with literal
Yeah.
meaning. Because literally, I'd fucking paddle and be stuck there, and I'm like, what progress am I making?
So then is the question: do we do it to ourselves? All
Yeah.
the stress that we have.
I feel
and
like
where we
everything's
are and
all
everything.
internal.
All of it, we created it all.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You can't accept it.
No,
Well,
it
because,
just makes sense. I mean,
Like,
it's-
you ever sit there, it's from one of the books that I was listening to. There's like, you have this inner monologue that goes on in your head where you're like asking questions, answering questions, having full conversations, talking to yourself. And then there's a point where you realize, well, there's two then. There's the I who is perceiving everything, and then the voice that you're perceiving. So, like, you have yourself and then you have your ego. So that's a constant battle inside yourself.
Yeah.
That when you can find a way to kind of stop and just let the voice go and not fight it, which is what meditation is. Like, let your thoughts go. It's not about not having them, it's about not being attached to them. And then you let go and you have that serenity. So when you're on vacation, you're kind of mentally prepared to do that because you break out of the routine.
you're detached from it.
You're detached from it, so like your whole body and everything is just like, all right, we're just gonna kind of see what happens. Versus when you're waking up with the same bed at the same time, you know what you have to do. You already feel the entire day before the day starts, so you're already closed off to anything else.
Yeah.
You're already closed off to, oh, maybe I will have a good day because, you know, a flower will bloom and I'll appreciate the petals a little bit more today.
So then we're prisoners
Of our own minds.
Yeah.
to our memories because what we're remembering
Yes.
and then manifesting is what we are creating every day by not changing.
Yes. Because we can't
What
let
we
go of
do.
the past. So what we do is we prepare for the future based off of the past.
So I think like if for whoever is in the same routine and like they're at a job and they want things in their life to like go a little differently, boom, leave your job.
It doesn't have to be that drastic. So
It's
for-
just-
No, it's an option.
it's
An
an
option.
option. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want. If you feel like you need to be that extreme, then be that extreme. But for me, I've been going through this whole emotional journey pretty much my entire life. I was shut down, and now I'm finally feeling and processing and going through everything, all within the past like 3 months.
Good for you.
That inner battle and all that stuff, it's natural. It's going to happen. It's not about shutting it off. It's not about running away from it. It's about accepting it, which means accepting whatever's around you. So I still have to work. I have to make money. I have a family. I have 2 kids. I have to support them. I still have to pay my bills. I still have to own this car with that insurance, with this and that, and deal with all these things because that is real world. But it's about accepting that, all right, this is just real world. Okay, that's fine. But then there's still me. So I can't leave my job. I can't quit and just go, backpacking and adventure the world. But what I can do is I can breathe. And I can take, 5 minutes or even just 3 nice deep breaths. And that breaks that chain for just a split second. And then you start being able to do that easier and easier and easier. And then you wind up living inside that circle that you were stuck in, but actually experiencing and realizing that it doesn't have to be a certain way, or you don't have to run away from this to find happiness. You can find happiness wherever you are at any moment.
Okay, question for you then. You have dream floors.
Yeah.
What if one day you realize, boom, I don't want to do this anymore?
I battle that every day.
Okay, so
I'm at a point, I don't know if this is what I have to do, but I have to make sure that that's me and that's not me running from something. So is it Dream Floors is making me upset, or is it that this was great, I appreciate it, I'm done with it?
I asked because it's like the have to have a job is correct, but that job can be
Whatever you
a
want.
plethora of things.
Yeah, of course.
So if we, I guess, just listen to ourselves and just do what we want, maybe that's the answer.
Well, this is the thing
Be
with
selfish.
with John's situation, and not only his. I think a big driver in life is having a purpose. Like what you're doing or what you do around it, I think that's secondary. I think the first thing is purpose. His purpose is his family.
Yeah.
His purpose. So when he has to go to work or do whatever he has to do, that's secondary.
Yeah.
The number one is the purpose.
Exactly.
Like when you have, it's who you're doing it for, why you're doing it, and because you understand, like as humans, we understand that that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Is not only family, but why? Because family provides a purpose.
Yes.
Especially when you create your own family. And
So it's not that you need a family to have purpose, but
No.
you just need purpose.
And let me give you another example, right? We're here this weekend for John. John is our purpose. This weekend, John is our purpose. Which is why it's for me, it's really easy. Not easy, but we're going on like 5 hours of sleep in like 2-3 days. Like we haven't been sleeping. We've barely been nourishing ourselves. We've been drinking.
But surprisingly, we've been hydrated.
We've been hydrating here and there, but it's like the point there is like when you have a purpose for something, whether it's a trip, whether it's whatever, a life, you know, it just makes it easier to just do whatever it is that you're doing, that you have to do. So we're gonna wake up, crack of dawn, do this, do that, and then go here, and then come back, and then keep going, and keep going. I'm rolling.
Yeah.
I'm down because the purpose here is John.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's why it's cool, because at the root of that is love. When the root of what you're doing is love, like he loves his family.
Mm-hmm.
We love John. You know, like if I love music, I love conversation, I love perspective, I love, you know, whenever you love something, like you have to put that at the root of it. And then from there, it's almost like it's a seed, and then it keeps growing in different ways.
Can you love something and not be attached to it? Can you love your family but not care about them and some of the decisions you make for yourself? And still do it from a loving place?
Well, can give us an example a little bit, like to help understand the.
It's tough to just come up with something, but what if, let's say I had a family, right?
Yeah.
And I would always be there for them, so they always depended on me. But it brought sickness to me, and it brought a lot of worries to me, and I had to do more of the workload because a lot of the people depended on me, but it was for my family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What if I said no, cutting all of that?
Mm-hmm.
But it was things that they had a hard time in doing.
Yeah.
But it was necessary for my benefit. But I
Yeah.
had to stop participating in the family rituals, things that I guess would be seen as normal in a family, depending on it.
I understand.
Things like that, where
yeah.
there could be a double-edged sword, but you have to do things in a way where you're not attached to any of the stuff that you know what I mean? Like,
I think you can show your love and apply your love in different ways.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that's where you have to get creative and like, okay, this approach isn't being beneficial for my mental, physical health. You know, it's running its course. Like, how can I? Because the thing is, you don't want to stop supporting somebody you love, or you don't want to keep helping somebody. Stop helping somebody you love out of anger, or out of jealousy, or out of any of those things. When those things are at the root of it, that's when it gets bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it gets tricky. Like if you're like, okay, I can't keep doing it this way. Let me find another way to show that, to help them, to love them, that can also benefit me. So it's about getting creative with how you approach certain situations, right? But I understand what you mean. Like sometimes it's too much, and you feel like you're giving so much of yourself and almost getting nothing in return. But then that tests how much you actually love them, or even believe in the good that you're doing.
can you be teaching them how to do the wrong thing by loving them too much? Where in return,
yes.
where you say, no, I'm not doing any of that same shit anymore.
Yeah.
In doing that for yourself, are you teaching them more and loving who they are than
Yes.
trying to do something and please others for the same thing you're trying to do, which is to make your whole family quote unquote happy, but you're a slave to them. You know what I mean? Like,
You want to make
Yeah.
them stronger. So
Yeah.
I understand, it's true because,
It's the toughest kind of love,
yeah.
but it's love. It comes from love, and even if they don't see it right away, even if they resist it, because everybody wants that routine, they want that security, that
the acceptance is to feel the love, like you said, just
yeah.
the same thing.
But once you do something like what you're saying, where it's like not putting yourself first, but prioritizing yourself, it feels like you're taking away from them. because now you're focusing on you a little bit. But
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
take away from them, what winds up happening, it's amazing you're saying this because this is what's going on in my house. The others have no choice but to grow. And even if it's hard, even if it will hurt, but when it's all said and done, everybody will be better for it. So if it comes from a loving place of I need to do this for myself and I know you will be okay, you don't need me to do this,
Yeah.
then things will work.
I think that's the ultimate type of love.
What do you do in the situation that, well, hypothetically, your kid isn't up for the task of like growing in a sense? So instead of growing for themselves, now they're set in in like the thought aspect of I'm growing because I don't want to be left behind.
They
Do you
will
understand?
move. Their growth will get them past that. It's going to be part
Yeah.
of it. It will be part of it. So in my house, it was Stephanie first, finding herself, left me behind. And I am, of course, jealous, resentful, feel pushed like it wasn't my choice. But as I get closer to true acceptance of what's going on, and not only within the relationship, but with life, you start to see it differently. So for me, I'm a control freak. I always need to be in control of everything. I'm trying to break that and flow. But now that's not my choice anymore. Now that's like, hey, I let go. Catch yourself or don't, but I'm done. So it feels unfair. It feels like I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. I wanted what I knew. But then acceptance and the growth eventually gets to a point that's like, that sucked, but it wasn't that bad. And then
Because
you go to, okay, that's kind of over. Now I'm at this new spot, and now I kind of see what she was seeing. And then you realize, fuck, this is where she wanted me to be. This is where I needed to be, even if I didn't see it 5 moves ago.
So basically what you're saying is once you get to that point, what happened before doesn't really have that much,
Yeah, it's a growing pain is what it is.
All right. It makes sense.
Eventually it passes. It's tough. It hurts. But it passes.
It's like coming to Puerto Rico for the first time. It's experiential where now the second time when I come to Puerto Rico, I'll come alone now.
Yeah.
And it's not because maybe I was nervous before to come alone or travel alone because I don't know like how I'm gonna move around or this or that, but now I feel more comfortable here where it's fine, like I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with what you're saying. It's
I
like,
would go different with it. Well, speaking just on the growing pain alone, yes, when you get to the point where you're like, okay, I got to where I needed to be. Thank you guys. I can take it from here. But with the growing pain and how to get past it, it's the best way that I've been able to write it up in my mind is kind of like a withdrawal. You're so addicted to that space that you were in, that cycle that you were in, the emotional state, whether it be healthy, unhealthy, happy, sad, whatever it is, you were just addicted to that circle, that routine. Now you broke out of it, so you go through a bit of a withdrawal. But then the withdrawal passes, and now you no longer need that routine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Somebody's phone has been going off. Sorry.
Really?
Somebody's calling. But I know, yeah.
I didn't feel anything. But hey,
Does that make sense to you?
yeah. But today is our last day of PR.
Yeah.
Today's the last day. We're fucking barely hanging on. We've been barely hanging on for hours.
You know what I just remembered too? I'm looking forward to seeing your bike.
That's a possibility. I'm actually trying not to ask if it happened or not, to be
Okay,
surprised.
okay.
Kind of like when you're having a kid and like you don't find
You don't.
out
You
the
don't.
sex.
You don't.
I want to like go home and like open the garage and be like, oh, I got it. Or open it and be like, oh, it wasn't meant to be.
Okay.
But I'm trying not to attach myself to that idea.
That makes sense. You're not trying to set expectations.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to let things go. It's
trying to
out
let
of my
it-
control. I trusted somebody with it. I said, here, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
you got a bike,
Possibly.
like a
Motorcycle.
oh good.
Possibly. I don't know.
I thought it was a
What,
bicycle
Were you
too.
in like a contest and you don't know if you want
No, I saw one online. I don't ride, so I have my buddy who does, and I was like, hey, come with me to go check it out. But then I was like, oh, I'm not going to be there. So I was like, you know what? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anyway. You do, so I'm going to rely on you for everything. So go check it out. If it's good, take it. If it's
Okay.
not, don't.
Oh, lit.
So now I'm just gonna find out if it's there.
That's lit.
We're all gonna find out.
We're all gonna find out.
Have you ever?
I told Stephanie
you've never
like
been on
here
one?
while we were here. I was
Oh,
like,
word?
hey, by the way, I might be having a bike when we get home.
That's funny. Wow. Crazy.
Have you ever been on one?
I've been on one back when I was a kid. My uncle still rides, so
Okay.
like I know the feeling. I really, really want that.
Okay.
Because it's also going to force me to take time away from everything else and have that me time.
Okay.
Because I can't put the kids on it. I can't go to work on it. So if I'm on it, I'm forced to like, hey, this is specifically me. This is me time.
That's cool.
Open road free.
Yeah.
Open road free. What's been your favorite moment since we've been here?
This.
My favorite moment, honestly, I don't think I have a specific moment. Just seeing everyone here.
You're more of like the bigger picture. You're more macro than micro.
Right.
Yeah, because you appreciate the entirety of the experience.
Of course. Yeah, like even when this whole trip, shout out to wifey, Naisha.
Shout out to Naisha. Shout out to all the but Naisha
Perfect
specifically for the Airbnb. This is why we're recording. For the
Yeah.
planning the trip.
So, as when I was telling her like this is so cool to have, like Costa's going out there with Esteban. Like, oh shit, I've been telling Randy like, oh, we gotta go to Puerto Rico. We're going to Puerto Rico. First trip with John. It's like there's just so many.
First.
Yeah.
I love that, and I love that I've gotten used to doing that with you guys, like things for the first time together. That's cool, and it's true. Sometimes you're gonna have to go solo. Sometimes you just have to go on your own road, on your own path.
For sure.
But that's what makes these moments and these experiences so much greater. Because like we're doing it together. We're doing it as a family. You know what I mean?
So we could have honestly just stayed at the Airbnb the whole trip, and I would have felt the same way.
Right. Yeah.
The beach is right there too. So
Right. Like just
Beach is right there.
maybe like Airbnb it and then just hang out at the beach, and I would have been perfectly fine with that.
And then just keep catching sunrises and sunsets. We caught the sunrise today.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
if we fucking pulled off that, because initially, this whole thing was supposed to be a surprise for you, right? If I pulled off a disguise on that damn plane and you didn't notice,
It would've
I
been
wanted to do that
impossible.
too.
I would have been the greatest moment of my life.
John would have definitely got
That
it.
would've
You think
been
so?
fun.
No, he'd have. What if he
With a
changed
mask?
his hair? If he changed
And
his
like,
hair, or like
if I had my hoodie on with like a
Yeah.
with a mask and glasses, I don't
I
think.
mean, fam, TSA might pull up on you and be like, why?
I mean, at that point I'd be past TSA, but like,
Or a police officer will, like, why is this guy in a hoodie, a mask, some glasses? Like,
you see him
Oh, yeah.
suspicious, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, it's a surprise.
Did you guys-
Wait, just wait. It's a great surprise.
just wait.
Just wait.
Tell the
It's a
TSA guy,
great
just wait.
surprise.
Fuck you, mean just wait. Take your shoes off.
yeah, seriously. Spread your cheeks. Go up to the
Spread
side.
your cheeks.
Did you guys get close to each other on the plane?
I on the ride here, it was me, some random guy.
Why didn't you guys switch seats?
Yeah, we should have, right?
I don't know why you didn't.
Me, some random guy, Naisha, and then it was John on the aisle seat,
Then me. Then
And then-
Stephanie.
and then John and stuff, and then what's it called? Yeah.
So you guys, maybe you could have done it.
No, I could have pulled it off.
If you had a mustache, definitely.
I could have pulled it off.
Whatever, man. Surprise, no surprise. We're fucking here, goddammit. And we did it.
Yeah.
Our last day. You guys are gonna go ziplining, right?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm excited.
I've never been ziplining before.
I'm all
First
rested,
time
you
again.
guys.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
I've
Yeah.
eaten.
I'm also not great with heights, so this is gonna be really fun.
Nah?
Nah.
Oh wow.
I'm a big dude, so if I fall hard.
True.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
like that little. But I'm not. No, I gotta do it.
I don't like heights, but when I'm not secure, like if I'm on a
Yeah.
ladder, I hate that.
Yeah, and that I'm the same way. If I'm secured, I'll climb anything. But this is like
High.
a
no?
piece of string.
Right.
It's a piece of. I am as secure as that piece of string is.
How much you weigh?
228 coming down here.
Okay.
That's a lot of weight.
No.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I think it'll be okay.
There's this weird thing that happens to me when I'm really high and unsecured, and it's happened to me when I've gone to Catterskills in that waterfall upstate in New York. There's this like rock that you can go to the edge, and it's like nothing there. It's a drop, and it's like a little inclined. So if you want to go to the edge, you have to really because if you slip, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? Like there's no fucking around. So you have to get close. Something happens to me. I get this fucking weird kind of feeling. Like my hands just start sweating. Like look, just thinking about it, they're sweating. Mm-hmm. Just thinking about it, just because something happens, and I'm like fuck. And then I've heard this before, where it's like when you're on the edge of something, part of you wants to jump off, in the sense of you understand how easy it is to do so.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you don't. And I've seen this in a show. And there was an episode on Louis where they were both on the roof, and then he's like, get off the edge, and she's like, you're afraid that I'm gonna jump, but I know I'm not, and I know that I'm not. I trust myself enough to not be afraid of falling, because I know I'm not gonna fall. So just think about that today, before your demise today. Before you fall from death.
Wow.
No.
Great. That was awesome.
The driver said that there's two, I think it's 11 platforms.
Yeah.
And 2 of those, you gotta free fall. But you're obviously attached.
Oh, the free fall. Ooh, yeah.
Nobody told me this.
It's because it has to support your weight. So then you go down. When you go,
It's like a seatbelt behind
You
his
just
thing.
go right down. Yeah.
Jesus
That's fucking.
fuck.
That's fun though.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
together.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
will not let fear stop me.
You know what's funny?
anymore.
I might just be staring at that string or piece of rope or whatever. Just be like, I trust you.
This guy's a fucking daredevil. He it doesn't. You like that shit.
I've always liked that shit.
I've always liked that shit too.
Shout out Hardy Boys.
Shout out Hardy.
Jeff Hardy was one of my heroes growing up, and yeah, that kind of just triggered the fuck it, I'm gonna jump off that, or I'm gonna go do this or go do that.
What is that? Is that because I have that too? Do you think that's mental illness? Adrenaline? We're addicted to the adrenaline.
Yeah.
That feeling of adrenaline. Yeah,
I
I like that adrenaline. I've always liked the adrenaline that comes with those kind of things.
Yeah.
Not the adrenaline of being chased by police and
Right.
or
Yeah.
just the adrenaline before anything, to before fighting, before when
Adrenaline coming from a negative place.
from a negative, yeah. That's even though my heart is racing,
That's more survival.
okay.
The other one is more letting go. Kind
Well,
of thing?
I like-
just
I
kinda
like-
going into it.
I liken it to before riding a roller coaster. When King of Ka first was released and everybody could go on it, I pussied out the first time that I went to Six Flags.
Same.
I didn't do it.
Same.
I looked at it and I'm like, no. And I went home and I was like, fuck. And I kept thinking about it. And then I went a couple weeks later with another group of friends, and I went on it. And it was the first one that we went on. And then as soon as you go on it and then you do the fucking thing, you go up, come down, and then you're done. It's that feeling of conquering that fear. So the negative feeling
great.
here is fear.
Yeah.
So you understand that you're afraid of it, and then from the fear, everything else comes I'm pussy. It's not safe, or it's going to be too fast, or people are just posting this shit. They're not really having fun. They're faking it. It's all fake. And you just start getting angry, and then it keeps fucking snowballing. But
Rejection.
when you go on it, and then you conquer those fears, and then afterwards, that feeling of fuck, I did that shit. Goddamn.
Yeah.
I did that
With
shit.
rejection follows reflection.
Yeah, and I think you guys are gonna feel that today.
Bars.
So it's really cool. It's dope.
I can't wait.
Now, what if you're put in situations like that and you're with your boy,
Yeah.
right? And you guys go to Six Flags, and you guys are online, and the whole time you're online, your boy's like, nah, bro, you're not going on this ride.
What?
You're not going on this ride, bro. You're not doing it.
Your friend is telling you that?
Yeah, your boy's telling you that.
Wow.
You guys are on the line. And the whole time, the hour and a half way you're on the line with him, he's telling you that the whole time. You're
Well-
like, you're pussy. You know you can't do this shit.
If he's your boy, then he'll know that that's the way to inspire you, because that's 100% how you get Randy to do whatever the hell you wanted to do. It's telling you can't do it. And
But
he
that
will
works.
find it within himself to be like, you're not going to tell me I can't do this shit? Fuck you. And then he'll go and he'll do it.
So,
So
what
it
if-
could be something like that, or your friend could just be a piece of shit.
So at the end of the video of you waiting on this line with your boy, the hour and a half, you're sitting down and you look next to yourself and your boy's not there because the whole time it was just you telling yourself that you couldn't do this shit. Is it different when you look at it like that than when you look at it from a place that it's inside of you, that you are the one that's telling yourself that you're scared?
So, so everybody's clear. You're saying, what if you make
Like
your
it wasn't
mind?
actually two people. It
Yeah.
was just you.
Yeah, like it wasn't a friend. Like your friend was actually your mind.
And then you realize that that other voice that's in your head is a piece of shit.
Yeah,
and
a
then you
dick.
stop listening to it.
A dick.
Because you're a piece of shit. So why would I listen to you?
Well,
So you
yeah.
start separating, you stop fighting it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's like, damn, you're annoying.
Yeah.
One. I'm trying to chill. Like, let me rock. I'm trying to do my thing. Like,
Yeah.
Why are you on me? Like, why are you worried about me?
yeah, it's different.
You can't.
Yeah,
You're still connected to it. It's like you have. Imagine having 3 heads, and you know
Yeah.
how in the shows, like all 3 heads have different
Yeah, yeah,
characters.
yeah.
It's like that because you can't get rid of it. So you just gotta like lower the volume on like the thing.
See, that's definitely one approach.
Sorry.
Another, it's okay.
I apologize.
Another approach is like
I
what
felt his anxiety. Which that gave me anxiety.
the audio here is. It's good audio, but it's just
We're working with what we got, right?
Yeah.
You know what that reminded me of? When we were younger and we went to Splish Splash, and you know the alien?
Yeah, that's exactly what came to mind too.
We waited for this shit online, and then I went to the top, and I was like, damn, this shit is high. And I was like, damn, that shit is darkness. That shit literally just like drops. And then I was
Yeah.
like, I looked at John, and I was like, I'm going back downstairs.
Yeah, I'm just like, wait, what? And what's crazy is that, like, he was just like, he looked me dead in the eyes. He's like, I'm not going. like, the tone of his voice was like, oh shit, like he's serious. And I was like, I couldn't even be like, yo, like come on, like the tone, the look. He's just like, I'm not going. All right, yeah. I'll wait for you at the bottom. And yeah.
How
But
old
then
are you?
what
I don't
happened
know.
on the ride home? He's like, damn, I should have gone.
Yeah,
I should
yeah.
have gone on that. And I'm like, it's okay, next time. Like,
You're not always ready to take the jump.
yeah.
You know what's funny? Even if you're not ready to take the jump, sometimes you do. And you know what reminds me of that? You know what that reminds me of? You know the shotgun falls thing?
Yeah. Split splash.
My cousin, our cousin Abraham, me and my brothers, he could not swim. Well, I mean, he could. He said he could, but he basically couldn't. He'd go shoot into the pool, and every single time the lifeguard would jump in to save him, and he went on that shit like 5 times.
What's so funny is that we're like, Abraham, do you know how to swim? And he's like, he's from Spain. So he's like, see. I'm like, all right. Goes, shoots in. All of a sudden, like, I'm like, all right, he knows how to swim. Like, I'm not gonna look or whatever. And then I see a lifeguard jump in. I'm like, what the fuck? And then it's Abraham that he takes out. I'm like,
Oh,
yo,
shit.
what happened? I thought you knew how to swim. He's like, he goes right back up. I'm just like,
he goes right back.
To the point that they had to tell him to stop going on it because they weren't gonna get him.
yeah. He was like, dude, if you don't know how to swim, we're not gonna keep jumping in here and saving you. But he still went up. He still kept doing it.
Fearless. I don't know. All I'm saying is that we're assholes to ourselves.
Yeah.
John was talking about it a little bit. I hear that voice all the time, and it's very loud. The way that I've been understanding that I use anger as a way to deal with things first, especially when I get afraid. So I'll notice, like, in really difficult situations, I actually get angry first. But I've been identifying that and seeing, like, how I can use that as, like, a tool.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, the voice that I hear, like, sometimes it's just like, all right, enough. You just tune it down and you're like, all right, just shut up. Like, that annoying friend, just like, just please, just fucking, that's me. You know, it's just like, please, just shut up. So we get it. Enough. But you can do that. I'm just like the approach that I take sometimes is like fighting it though. I fight it and then I keep fighting it and then until it is silent forever. Does that make sense?
How's that going for you?
Well, a lot of inner turmoil for sure, but I feel like I've been able to accomplish a lot more in a like a very quick span of time than I have in the past. And like I know it's a stretch, it's like a reach, but if you see any of these, like any documentaries of truly legendary people, like they've all had that.
Yeah.
They've all had like that, almost like a psychosis where it's like, okay, this is crazy. And it is the ego out of control, right? Michael Jordan is the example. Michael Jordan, if you ever played with him, you knew like, you couldn't, if you looked at him the wrong way, he would go off. Like he would just go off and then just go in. And by the way, he lost the championship like 3 times or something. Like he was constantly losing to the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
And then they beat him, and then he's like, fuck. And then he went in the gym and just started. I have to get stronger because then they're going to keep. They were talking shit about Michael Jordan. They were saying he hasn't won any championships. That's what they were saying about him. And that's also, it proves every great person people always going to come at everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody. Anybody doing anything that's like, whoa, outstanding on another level,
They're gonna come after him.
they're going to come at them. And the same is true with anybody. Like Bad Bunny raps about it all the time, right? Now, there are 2 different approaches. Either you say, okay, it's not worth it. You don't let the ego drive you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could choose to do that all the time. But then the other approach is, well, I'm not going to let this shit beat me. And I'm going to fucking keep going.
But why does it have to be one or the other?
It doesn't. That's why balance is key.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And I think like if you're able to like really use those, then that's another level, I think. I'm not saying I'm there yet, but if anything, I'm more on the fighting side. I feel like I'm always fighting external forces, but really a lot of it is internal. A lot of it is shit that I just bring on myself. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Sometimes it's worth it. I really think it's worth it that we're doing this. I really think it's worth it. After everything we had to kind of figure out and go through and you know, like planning and like everything around it and even everything around this trip, you know, you have to fight a lot of shit coming at you. You have to fight a lot of like, this didn't work out.
Yeah.
But if you keep riding the wave, how yesterday we were on a boat, we were riding that wave. You know, you have to really learn how to ride that fucking wave. Because if you fight it, then it's like fucking, you know, you get sick and then like, it's
You're
like,
rocky, yeah.
nah, if you let it just flow though, then you got something there, I think, maybe.
That's what I told you.
What'd you tell him?
Cause he was like holding onto the table, and I was like, let go.
You need to let go.
Cause like that whole time I was in the chair, I was just like fucking moving, and I was like, I got a tiny bit motion sickness, and then I was like, nah, I'm okay. But
I enjoyed the motion. Like,
Yeah.
like going with it, it was, I don't know, like a cool feeling versus going the other way and trying to fight it.
Yeah.
going from you know what made me feel uneasy?
Yeah.
At the beginning of this trip?
Yeah.
When I saw how enforced the curfew was. When that cop car pulled up on the block and started literally like flashing lights in each car parked and into the
At what time
I
are they
think-
closing out here? Tell the people.
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
And
Why?
What?
Well, just generally.
To enforce curfew for COVID-19.
That's correct.
So,
It's nuts.
and with past experiences,
You're gonna give me a fucking rob.
police bring me anxiety. So, I saw a cop and I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that he's there. But then he was just patrolling, and it's weird, because like if you see that in the U.S., you're like, all right, they're looking for somebody. But like,
Okay.
like there's
You've
there's
seen that action done at home, and it usually means they're searching
like some
for
shit's about to go
someone,
down.
something's
Yeah, yeah,
happening.
yeah.
But here,
It's just a regular
they're just
patrol.
patrolling now.
Yeah.
But because they have something that we don't have out there, which is that 9 p.m. curfew.
Yeah.
And 9 p.m. that sounds fucking nuts. I mean, DR is like 5 p.m.
Is that true? Is that for real?
There's-
I don't know if it's still on, but it is. Yeah. It was a thing.
Yeah.
5 p.m.
5
curfew.
p.m. That is.
In Medellin, I think they were doing either 5 p.m., 9 p.m., like early though, early curfews.
That's nuts.
So we've been talking a lot. God, I'm sorry, we did like hijack the conversation and turn into this, but like it's worth talking about. Like we're seeing it at home, how it plays out at home, and we've been very critical about it. But when you look at what's happening in other countries, and you don't hear about it unless you know somebody
And
there,
now
if you have family there.
Now, like, like being in it firsthand, it's like
It's another
Jesus,
level. It's like,
yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
this is too
it's
much.
too much, and it's like I'm actually okay with what's happening back at home because it's not to this extreme.
Yeah, and they were saying they wanted to close the beaches out here.
Yeah, crazy.
Right? What was it that?
You were saying that close the ocean?
Listen,
You're
listen.
gonna tell me I can't go in the ocean? The ocean is closed.
Telling a human being on planet Earth that you can't go into 70% of planet Earth is nuts.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, but listen, I don't follow those rules. No, I don't. Because sometimes you have to kind of, everybody make their own decisions. I'm not saying do right, do wrong, make your own decisions, but you can't. To let somebody else influence how you live your life, how you appreciate your time, how you use your time on Earth, and you can't access something that's for everybody.
Yeah.
The ocean. You know what I mean? Or like, fuck all that. Fuck all that. And then, so we could have easily just given up at the beginning of this trip and said, well, all these restrictions, they're going to stop us from having a good time.
Right.
You know?
Like, how can we possibly have fun with all these restrictions?
But we were
Yeah.
fucking lit out
I had a
here.
great fucking
It
time.
was-
Man.
What a
I
great
had a
time.
great time.
It could even be like, why would we surround ourselves with so many people and be in small spaces because of the restrictions? Because COVID is obviously getting worse out here.
Is it getting worse out here?
I mean, if we just look at the laws, I guess we're assuming that it is.
Well, the government definitely thinks so. You know what I mean? But
I haven't seen numbers. I don't know anything about the statistics.
neither do I.
Um,
Neither do I.
but I
Or
wasn't
this year.
fearful at all trip. Yesterday when we were on the boat and nobody had the mask on, I was like lit.
Yeah, I was really relieved that, like,
But it was so interesting because they were like, everybody keep your mask on. Like, we go to the beach. If the cops come, like, you're not going to make it in time. And I was like, listen, if they come, they come, bro.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'll-
Are they going to really waste an hour? Because it took an hour to get out to Culebra. They're going to come out here an hour, arrest everybody. Listen, arrest me, bro. I'm not going to wear a fucking mask on the beach.
Right.
On the beach, sunny out. I'm not going to do it. I won't do it. What's really cool is, like, they were saying it because they have to say it.
Of course.
But then as soon as, like, everybody went outside, I was like,
Fuck
what
that.
the fuck? Like, everybody, even them, even the people making the
Yeah.
announcements, like, hey, we don't care. We just have to say it. Like, it was like that understanding of like, guys, we know it's fake.
When we were going on, they check our temperature. My shit came out at 83. I was like, okay, you're good. I was like, am I not dead? I think there's something wrong here. I might not have COVID, but something's wrong. It's like nobody gives a shit. I don't even think he checked the number.
As long as it's not above 100.
I just saw it.
No, it's shit.
He's
but
just waiting for a beep, like beep, okay, beep, okay, beep, okay, beep, okay.
I think Catalina went through it and it went
no
like,
beep. Fuck it, keep going.
But if shit
yeah.
goes off, if it goes off, they're like, this thing acting up. Let me reset it. If it goes off, it's like, just don't worry about it. Like, it's nuts, man. It's crazy.
Even on the way back, they're like, just put your masks on, it's regulation. I was like, even they know.
Yeah. But it's cool how it's like we're willing to participate to have society function, even though we might not want to.
Yeah,
It's nice to see so many people say, "All right, this sucks, but I'll do this for the greater good."
Definitely.
Yeah, I guess it's just an being considerate of everyone else.
Because here we all are. None of us are wearing masks. We've been together all weekend, sharing drinks, doing whatever. We're all fine. But then we go outside, and it's for the respect of anybody else. They might not be comfortable with how comfortable we are. So we'll be a little bit less uncomfortable to help them be a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's a nice thing to see so many people do.
Yeah.
Even during the boat ride,
And they
Didn't
truly
even-
don't like it because then they come back and they put on a podcast and they bitch about wearing masks. So they really don't like it, and they're willing to do it anyway. And that's
Yeah.
really nice to see.
The crew didn't even seem like they were like at work.
Nah.
They were chilling.
They're having fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it the best.
Oh man. I just like people living their life.
Yeah.
Everybody just has to live their life.
Trust yourself, right?
You know these rules, bro.
Common senses.
Yeah, man. But and listen, and we're talking about rules, but like at the core of that, what is it? It's fear that are generating these rules. Because if we're looking at it honestly and practically, these rules are being set in place because the people in charge don't want to be held accountable for people dying of COVID. Even though people that are dying of COVID, the main reason they die isn't always COVID, and it's very difficult to prove whether it was only COVID that killed somebody, right? And nobody here is a medical professional by any means, but we're talking about like these rules that are set in place to govern other citizens. Are they actually effective? Are they helping? Are they helping more than they are hurting? And what's at the core of it? It's not love, it's fear. It's fear, and it's that appeal to, and that the appeal of having that much power. It's a power grab. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about it earlier. As humans, we want to be in control. We want to always be in control, and we always want to have everything go exactly how we plan it, exactly according to how we wrote it down. But it's not going to go how we wrote it down. It's not, so I think just live your fucking life. Live your fucking life.
Trust yourself, I guess. Take precautions.
Not only trust yourself, just trust. Let go of everything and trust that everything will work out.
Yeah.
And everybody deserves that, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has to live the life they deserve.
I support you 1,000,000%.
This is the life we deserve.
All of us. Everyone in this world.
Everybody.
Everyone should be happy. Happiness isn't something that some deserve and some others don't.
Everyone deserves it.
Yeah.
It's a choice, man. And be in the sun. The sun is everything. Like
Bye.
being present in the sun. Man. Any thoughts? Anything going through your mind?
Dice la verdad, pai.
Bye.
No, man. Just
I don't know, man.
enjoying it. Soaking it all in. Appreciating it.
We were talking a little bit about it yesterday. I learned that when I am more present in whatever I'm doing, I actually remember it way better later on.
Okay.
As opposed to if I'm going through the motions. If I'm going through the motions, I'm only relying on memory. So I'm only like, I think it was this. I think it was this. Like you miss details, right? But if you're in it, if you're living in it, like you're all gonna remember being on that beach. And the feeling of being on that beach is different for everybody.
Right.
Right? But when you're able to be in the moment, it's so hard, but like sometimes depending on what you're doing, it becomes easier.
Right.
So if you're in it, you can actually remember it way better later on.
Takes practice.
Everything.
It's something that often gets ignored or neglected. We think, taking care of ourselves is diet and exercise.
It is.
And, having a steady job and having security and having this and having that and having things. But everybody always forgets to practice and to work out your mind and your body and soul and practice connecting the three together. And just like anything else, if you don't practice, you forget.
Yeah. And it's same thing with like musicians and with any kind of artist, right? They have to keep putting themselves in creative spaces.
Yeah.
They don't unless they're just constantly in their mind and just really ready to deliver at all times. And that's rare. That's how you get a Bad Bunny. I don't think he needs anything. I don't think he needs like a view or anything like that. I think he already knows, goes into the booth, locks in, and then delivers right
Now,
away.
What makes him able to do that and others can't?
I really, my first answer to that is I think that's God given, man. I think
So
that's
you don't
just
think
him.
it's achievable?
No, I think it is.
Not so much in like if I let go, I'll be able to become the next Bad Bunny, but in the sense of like I'll be the Bad Bunny version of my life.
Everybody is an artist. We all
Yeah.
have an artist within. So whatever we possess is God given. It's inherent with us. Everybody has an artist within. It's
Yeah.
just about how you channel
If you can
that.
find it, if you can access it, if you can use it.
Well, that's what we're talking about. There's
Yeah.
different ways, techniques that can help you kind of access that. Now, with Bad Bunny, I say that was my first answer because, I mean, nobody sounds like him.
No.
Nobody raps like him. Nobody anything like him. And that's what's so cool is he is him.
Right.
Everybody is them. John is John. And that's just, and everybody's their own person. So everybody's their own artist. So
But you don't
yeah.
think that one of the reasons why he is who he is and why everybody looks to him the way that they do is because he is him? And
Yeah.
what we want is to be us, but we don't know how. But we see him being him and we want that. So we gravitate to it.
Yeah.
So what is truly stopping us from being that?
Ourselves, for sure.
I
But
think we set
yeah.
those. I think we set those limitations on ourselves. We see someone like Bad Bunny, and it's like, for example, if you're struggling financially, you think that Bad Bunny, was born Bad Bunny and was born into all these riches and stuff. But it's like, no, like he probably, pretty sure he came also from financial issues and stuff, and look at where he's at.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of taking a chance and realizing what it is that you actually want, and take the risk. Some of us know the fact that we're unhappy where we are, and it's fear. It's the what ifs of like, oh, like I want to go do that. For example, my passion is dancing, and I want to reconnect with dancing. But why did I stop dancing? Like, I was dancing so much during high school and all this, like, even shortly after high school. And, like, doing all these shows and choreographies and stuff. Then all of a sudden, life catches up. And it's like, okay, I'm financially well. But if I cancel, like, if I stop doing this and I go and pursue my dancing career or whatever, like, this dream that I have, it's like, oh shit, but like, what if I don't make it? Like, what if I don't, like, all that, like, if I take that chance, like, I might lose all this. So, like, you kind of just psych yourself out.
Yeah.
It's like, you haven't even tried to know that that's going to be the end result of this. So I feel like that will turn away a lot of people, or like, oh, Bad Bunny just had a different life. So he had the opportunity to take a chance.
That's what I was trying to get to.
So like, maybe because his parents were supportive, so like he was able to go and focus on his music, focus on all that. But you never know. What if Bad Bunny had to work 4 fucking jobs to, like, support the crib, support the studio, do this, do that? He took a chance and just made it happen. And that's what we all have to realize, that, and make time for that, and not be afraid to make that leap, which is my goal for, like, my 30s is that.
Wow. I love that.
And there's a lot of life left to live.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Shit. I love that, man.
Freedom. Yeah, freedom.
I tell everybody,
I love it.
and you can even ask them. I tell everybody, you were the one that taught me how to dance.
That's fun.
I was always around it. I always saw my parents dancing. My parents were a dancing family. We always had parties. You always had parties.
Yeah.
Your family always had parties. So we were always around it. But I was never confident enough to actually dance, like, in front of people, or at all, until you like no, I'm gonna teach you. Like, let's just do it. Let's just go. And then you pushed me along, and then I found my own rhythm. Like, I found my own style, and then I connected more with my parents, with me, and just, it's cool because, like, when people say I'm a good dancer, I'm like, this is John. Like, I'm always like, you haven't seen John. You know what I mean? Like, because he lives it. He's always lived it. So I want to thank you, bro. I want to thank you for not only that, but for everything. For us even being out here, for us being able to have this moment. And I think it's powerful and inspiring that you're setting this goal for yourself. That, you know, your 30s, you're gonna stop. You're gonna just you're gonna follow your heart.
Pretty much, yeah.
And you're not gonna let that bullshit get to you. Everybody has that bullshit, but it's cool. And it's crazy because, like, things happen just out of nowhere. Like, didn't you meet
It just
somebody that
doesn't.
was like a dancer yesterday?
Yeah, that was fucking nuts.
You met somebody like off the boat, and they're like a dance. They're going to New York City to start dancing
Yeah,
and shit.
I forgot where he said he was moving from, but Virginia. Yeah, dude named Nathan. He lives in Virginia, is a tap and ballet dancer, and I guess the whole dancing scene out there, or dance out there, isn't as big as it is in New York. And he applied and actually got two jobs to instruct at like two different studios, and it's like that's insane, because the way I'm approaching this goal is that, like, I've been fortunate enough to, I guess, have the talent of dancing, or like just like be born with that rhythm,
God given.
but right. So what I know is what I've taught myself, or watching Michael Jackson videos or Chris Brown videos, or but I've never been a student.
Okay.
So I want to teach,
Yeah.
I want to do all this stuff, but I have to first
Be the student.
become the student. So
Yeah.
because a lot of people ask me, like, oh, like, can you teach me how to dance? Can you teach me how to dance? I think there's, like, I feel like I can't teach. I feel like I need to learn more in order to be like, I will teach you, you know? Because not everyone learns the same.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I only know one way of teaching, well, I'm only going to reach this much, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, if I learn different ways, it's like, I'll approach you this way, that didn't work. I'll approach you this way, that didn't work.
Yeah.
But that third time that, like, I'm going to switch it up, you'll get it.
Yeah.
And the way I'm going to teach him.
So he's being a student not to learn how to dance, but to learn how to teach. Because he doesn't need to learn how to dance. Obviously, we all know that. This dude floats.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, that's not teachable. But
Right.
he's trying to figure out a way that he can teach it. So he knows he needs to observe being taught.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man. I think your journey is just starting. All of our journeys are just starting, and like Cosé said, we have a lot of years to live. This is only the beginning, you know. And you know, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to even get you guys together to do this. Thank you, John. Thank Naisha for having us and be present in this. And you know, any closing thoughts around the table? Anything anybody wants to say, just to wrap things up, because it's so beautiful.
I just hope that everybody remembers we don't need to come all the way over here to have this moment or to have this feeling that this is accessible anywhere. And
It takes work.
we should
Yeah.
do the work to have this more often, because we all are able to appreciate it more and more every time it does happen.
I agree.
Bars. I think I agree with you. I also think that I'm appreciative for, I think, a lot of things. I think all our friendships, I think where life is, that I'm healthy, that I have fingers on my hand, that just grateful. And I think that it seems like we're all grateful in our own ways, and that we all have different paths. And it just ended up being one of those moments where all our paths interconnected into the same moment. And it flowed. And like, I feel like all the stars aligned, because I feel like all of our energies are on the same
Yeah.
type of
It might
frequency.
look different, but it's all the same.
Yeah.
Bye.
Gotta pee.
How about you, John?
Nah, man. Just thank you. Thank you guys for coming out. Shit. I don't even know. I mean, like you said, you know, we've known each other for 20 years. Known you guys my whole life. When did I meet you?
Same year.
Same year, right?
20
Lit.
plus years.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
pleasure.
bro. Thank you.
And happy fucking birthday.
Happy
Yeah, happy
birthday.
birthday.
Appreciate it.
That's what
30th
zip lining.
birthday. Son. Good shit,
It's
Monster.
so lit.
Good shit all around. God bless everybody out there.
I love you.
Take care. Stay up. Live your fucking life. Live the life you deserve.
Facts.
Bars.
Peace out, everybody.
Deuces.